What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the most known unknown fighting games, where we talk about games that are known and talk about games that are unknown, you dig? But today we're talking about a game that's been around since the early 90s and is a part of a series, and this series is called Power Instinct, that started back in 1993 and it came out to the arcades again in 2009. Now, a very famous company known as Atlas was the father of this game in 1993, and they developed games till 1997, where they gave over the rights to Noise Factory, who took over in the 2000s. But in August 8th, 2009, Atlas and Noise Factory came together and made this beautiful looking game that I haven't got to play. This game is still arcade bound. Now, if you have played it, please tell me what you think about it. I would like to know. There's nothing keeping you from playing it with today's technology. I just haven't got to play it myself yet. But we're here to talk about Power Instinct 5 and 6, Matrimelee, and Banu. These two games right here are the ones we're going to be talking about this series. And with that being said, let's get into it. And we're off. We're going to be talking about the arcade version of Power Instinct 5, Matrimelee. This game comes with all the bells, whistles, strong attacks, weak attacks, and many variations of that attack. You can roll forward, roll backwards to get through attacks, and every character has double jump. You also have ability to use the character outside the map to block and throw. And we're going to talk a little bit about this later, but the bloodline battle system. Now, this character select screen is clean and crisp. You get to see all the zany, wacky characters, in-game models. Instead of them going with the block style, they went with the nice circle style, and it really complements the game. Now, one of the things we got to talk about is this gameplay. Now, when I first started out playing this game, I didn't know what's the type of gameplay this is going to be. So I treated it like KOF 15, because they got that, not KOF 15, but, treated like King of Fighters, because it had that feel of the late 90s, early 2000s style of gameplay. But this game is nothing like that. It is a amalgamation of like Darkstalkers, King of Fighters, and one of their previous games, the Rage of Dragon. And I really like this game on that level. Now, there are some things I didn't really like too much, is how stiff the controls feel and the power-up system. When you get a power-up like a level 1, your character will stop moving completely and leave you wide open or leave you plus, depending on the situation. I love the graphics and the sprites and the animation and the effects in this game. They're really awesome. They look great, and they'll look better on the PlayStation 2 version when we get there. Now, we are playing the arcade version, and there's not that much ways to tell a story for a fighting game, but they kind of gave you a little hint and a little hint there. So we're going to talk about the Bloodline Battle mini game mode. I haven't got to do it personally, but it is like a rock, paper, scissors game. They give you 4 inputs on the screen. You got to guess it. Whoever wins gets the dub, and whoever loses dies. So with that being said, we got to talk about the splendor of this game, trying to tell a story, give it some of that zany, that's the word I was looking for, zany and wacky characters and combat. So here's the final boss of the 5th installment of this game, while she's going to kiss her weapon for the battle. And I just love how they try to show a lot of fun outside the game detail. So for instance, with me saying that, look at the 2 angels in the back. So the blue angels player 1 and the pink angels player 2. And the angels will switch side where the character goes, and whoever has the most life, the angels will jump and raise their hands in joy, and whoever's getting their butt stomped into the dirt, the angel starts to malfunction. And I really like those things. It's a nice little hint, and I like the little style, I meant to say. So one of the things I like about this game, I meant to say what I don't like about this game is how cheap this dang boss is. It has AoE attacks. It has a armor break plus an unblockable attack that they will spam. They send a little frog out at you that you can't block unless you have a projectile. So if you try to spin in towards it, it'll just knock you down, and then she'll just spam that nonsense. She has a million anti-air attacks that will just get in your way. but with keen playing and realizing that there's an opening, you are able to put some pressure on her with the rolling attack. I think that's the only time I was rolling in this game, is to beat this boss. One of the most frustrating boss, not impossible, not unbeatable, just frustrating. But we did it. We got the game done, and it was fun. I felt like a champion after it, and you get a silly little animation at the end. Now, let's talk about the PlayStation 2 adaptation of the arcade game. And I say that because they are pretty much the similar game, but the difference is there's some characters that got taken out. You get a training mode, a mission mode, and a car collecting mode, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But one thing that you realize that this game is enhanced. Look how clean and precise and sharp this artwork is. Look how the player selecting screen looks awesome. And as you can tell, there's characters that are missing because they brought back some of the legacy characters. Now, one thing I did not realize about this game is when I start playing it, I was like, man, this looks like a game I played before. And that's right, KOF 13, the green blast, the character animation, it really reminded me of that style of game. And I think it was awesome. And that's why I think they brought back some of the older characters, because they have the ability to really implement some of the old style animation with some of this new gameplay. Now, one thing about this game that I like more than the arcade version, that this game feels a lot more responsive with the controls, and I can land combos, and I would feel a lot more confident throwing certain moves compared to the arcade version. Because the arcade version, it felt a little stiff. It felt like there was some missing inputs. I mean, it could be a skill gap, get good, but boy, there was moments where I was getting real frustrated. And also another cool thing about the PlayStation 2 version is that they use the full original soundtrack. So that means with all the singing, the joke songs, the lady in the background is actually the singer of the song in this game, and it has all the stages with it. It's pretty dang cool. So one of the first features we're going to talk about is training mode. It's a full-on training mode. It has everything in there, but it has the most important thing, and that is the command list, because the arcade version doesn't tell you anything, and the websites are confusing as all heck. But at least you get to play the game and understand it a little bit better. And now we're going to talk about the car collecting mode, where you get to get in-game points and to unlock some cool things like promotional art, music videos, in-game graphics, also art and stage graphics with animation in it. So this allows you to see the zany, wacky stuff that's going on in the background that you did not see because you were getting stomped into the dirt. Now they got a mission mode, and I can't really tell you too much about it because it's all in kanji, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. So when I won the game, I just said, all right, cool, this is a good way to get points. That's how I look at it. Now, one of the biggest changes, we're no longer fighting Princess Silly. We fighting big boy Bobby Strong, the strongest Nigerian man. He's from a different time. In today's society, this game will be seen as problematic because of how they depict this character. But I think he was funny. He's over here throwing water at you, talking like, I drink water. It was like, yo, my goodness. But but it was from a different time. He is busted. He blocks everything. He throws the range attack. He's no different from Sissy, but the fact is he's willing to run in on certain attacks to beat you down. But like I said, this game's all about enhancing, and even the animation at the end of it has been enhanced. I love the art. I wish I understood every joke, but it was pretty dang cool. Power Instinct 5 and 6, Melee and Manu are awesome games. Really fun, creative, and they did something that I wish some games do nowadays. Just be silly and wacky all up and down the game. Every character is zany. They got that freakazoid run around in their underwear. The gameplay is awesome. The game looks great. The music is top tier, and the PlayStation 2 fixed those controls, and my eyes made this game awesome. I wish we get a collection pack, and we'll have it here in America because people do want it. But with that being said, I'm putting both games together, smushing them, and I'm making them an A-tier game. It is awesome, funny, fast, quick. There's some things I don't like the power-up. But once you get used to it, you'll start to implement it with your strategy of how you're playing. But the game is a solid fighting game I think everybody should try out at least once in their life. Now, like always, do not take my word for it. Try the game out yourself, form your own opinion. That is the most important thing. And one of the things I hope that you are informed on, if you like this content, please hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500, and I'll greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, take care of yourself. Have a great weekend. Drink some water, stay strong, and be awesome. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.